What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Fam's Horror Review. I am, of course, Movie Phantom. You know what? I love this time of fucking year. It's August, and I don't know where you guys are at. I don't know what the weather's like, but where I'm at, you know, it's starting to get fallish already. Fallish is a word, I'm pretty sure. Look it up. Yes, temperature's dropping. There's that nice chill in the air. I fucking love it. And of course, Halloween is coming up. The fan's personal favorite holiday. What horror fan does not like Halloween? I just want to know right now. Like, is there a horror fan out there who's just like, I love watching slashers and fucking blood and guts and topless girls and showers and mass killers and blah blah blah, but I hate Halloween. I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. Alright, so this week we got for you Black Christmas Session 9. Yeah. So, that's what we're going to be reviewing tonight. Let's get into it, shall we? Now, last week I threw the question of the week out there. It was, what are your top 3 favorite witch movies? And 13 Wolfman hit back again. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. He said number 3, The Craft. And then he even went on to say, not a guilty pleasure for him. Like, I said it was kind of a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I'm not, you know, I wasn't bashing the movie. I love the movie. It was in my top 3. You know, it feels like, it's like Interview with the Vampire. I like Interview with the Vampire. I'm a fan. It feels like a guilty pleasure. Like, when I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, do I say I like this movie? You know, when you gotta, like, kind of contemplate, to me, that automatically means guilty pleasure. But yes, he wanted to go on to say, not a guilty pleasure for him. His number 2 was Witch House, which I have personally not seen. And his number 1 was Mother of Tears, which was the 3rd in like the Mother trilogy that Argento did. That had Suspiria, which was the movie we reviewed last week, Inferno, I believe, and then Mother of Tears. I actually own Mother of Tears. I have not seen it yet. It's over there in the new release section. I got my collection all spread out and everything. So yes, haven't seen it yet. Plan on watching it. So yes, thank you, 13th Wolfman. I really do appreciate it, buddy. This week, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's the most generic top 3 question. And I'm just shocked I haven't even asked it yet. Like, you figured by now it would have, like, what are we up to, like, episode 22 now or something? It should have came up, but it hasn't. So, yes, top 3 slasher films. Because we are doing Black Christmas. For me personally, and once again, I think I did this, like, once before where I had, like, my top 3 whatever. And it was just, like, the most generic, mainstream top 3. And yes, it's going to happen again this week. For me, number 3, Black Christmas. I'll get into why I like this movie a little later on. Number 2 for me is the original Friday the 13th. And then obviously number 1, without a shadow of a doubt, Halloween. So yes, it is a little cliched. But you know what? These are classics for a reason. And you know, I'll stand up and say it. I won't just throw up some obscure slasher movie that I know about just to make myself feel like, no. They're greats for a reason. So boom, there it is, my top 3. So I want to know what your top 3 favorite slasher movies are. Now there are multiple ways you can hit me up with this. Video responses, always good. You can also hit me up over there on Facebook, all my Phantom friends. And a couple people was asking me, like, you know, how do I become a fan friend? It's not hard. It's on the YouTube page, or my YouTube channel. Right there's a little link. And I'm not a dick. I will accept friendships. Boom. And then we also got a link below, comment below. Leave a little comment down there. And finally, moviephantom7@gmail.com. Throw me an email. So either way, multiple ways to hit me up there. So let's get to some news, shall we? Now, I saw this. This is more like in the news, not necessarily entertainment, but news nonetheless. That Japan is developing. It's called the chili chair. I'm not making this up. Like, I wish I could expect, it's a joke, guys. We're going to something else. No. They are making the chili chair. All right. Basically, it's a chair that you sit in, and you get wrapped. Like, you know, it's like a little metal sleeve you put yourself into. Basically, it's like electrostatic is going through you. And apparently, it's like, I don't know, they explained it, but I'm not going to lie, like, the Phantom's not the smartest guy. Like, I can follow the plot, but don't take too many turns, or at least give me something at the end, or let me watch it a few times, and then it can sink in, I can come to my conclusion. But I just watched this little thing, a snippet of it, and I'm not gonna lie, it's moving pretty quickly, and I was like, I got the gist of it. But somehow, like, it gives you this current, and it enhances your feelings a little bit. So, like, you're watching a movie in your chilly chair, and something jumps out at you. I guess the jolt is even more frightening. Like, you're like, oh my, you're about to shit yourself. So, new wave of technology, and live in Japan, helping us out. So, yes, chilly chair. I don't know when it's coming to America, or to my other brothers and sisters elsewhere who are not in Japan. Not sure when it's going to hit the market, but yes, they are working on it. So, man, it's just, at this point, what? You're going to have like the Blu-ray high definition 3D experience in your chilly chair. What else do you really want? I mean, I'm just waiting, goddammit, for like the Matrix shit, where you can just like plug yourself into the movie. Where's that technology at? Like, when I was a kid, like when the Phantom was a little guy, like, I remember like all the sci-fi movies of like the early, we'll say early 90s, were all like virtual reality. Like every movie, like Lawnmower Man and I don't know if anybody remembers the movie Arcade. It had like Seth Green and the chick from Encino Man, Megan Ward. Low budget, but they all dealt like going into video games. And like it wasn't like you were, I can't really explain it, but you were in it. And I'm like, when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be in a video game. And now I'm like, fuck it, I'll be in the movie. Like, could you imagine that kind of stuff? And I don't know what you would do. I mean, maybe you wouldn't be interacting with it. You just be there. It's like, you pop yourself in, and you're camping at Camp Crystal Lake as an innocent bystander. You're just watching the shit go by. I think that'd be crazy. Where's that take? It's 2012. What the hell? Where is all this shit at? No flying car. No, like, the Jetsons fucking lied. I'm just gonna say right now, the Jetsons lied to us flat out. So yes, chilly chair coming to you. Check it out. All right, my brother actually hooked me up with this next little tidbit. Not really much news, I guess, but fuck it. Phantom needs help, he'll take it. You remember my brother Lynch? He was here a while back ago. Anyways, they got some picks and the one sheet up for Lords of Salem, and we're both huge Rob Zombie fans. Both in the music world and the movie world, so I mean, I'm pumped for it. I know I've brought it up several times before, so I can't wait for it. So, Lords of Salem should be coming out within the next couple months or so, so boom. Now, there's a book out there called World War Z. I have not read it. I hear great things, and of course, the movie has been in production for a long time now. Apparently, they're just having trouble out the ass. Like, I don't know the details of it. I just hear, like, snippets. Like, they just like have like little sentences that like say what the problem is, but don't really go into detail. And apparently the studio and Brad Pitt got into it. I don't know what over. Brad Pitt is the star of this movie. I don't know. There's been like multiple writers come in, change it in and out. I guess the ending's been changed. The whole third act they're reshooting right now. I don't know if Brad Pitt's part. I don't know hardly anything. They didn't really give a whole lot in the article I was reading. Bloody Disgusting was where I was reading it at. Anyways, what I did read that was kind of interesting was the fact that, okay, not only, okay, they got some footage together. They cobbled together what they had. But I guess, like, it wasn't even, it was close to, like, an hour long. Like I said, this epic zombie, because that's what the movie's about. It's like, it's a world war with zombies. I don't know if it's supposed to be set, like, well, I don't know what time, or what year frame it's set in. But anyways, it's a zombie apocalypse movie, it's on a grander scale, and apparently it clocks in about under an hour, so maybe a little bit more, I don't know. So yeah, they're like, holy shit, we're in trouble. And they got the guy who, he was a writer on Prometheus, and then I guess he was a writer on Lost as well. Anyway, they're bringing him in, hoping to fix it up. I'm not sure who the director is. I don't know. I would almost just say at this point, fuck it, and just push it into the vat of acid. House on Haunted Hill style, and then go ahead and just redo it. Like, the Phantom's day job is at a factory, and I gotta build like furniture and shit. And sometimes it just doesn't go together right. So you know what you do? You say fuck it, knock it off your table, and reorder some parts and redo it again. Now, don't get me wrong, it's probably not cost effective for the factory, but it makes me feel better. And I'm sure it'll give them less of a headache. I'm sure we'll get a better product out at the end. So, boom, there it is. World War Z, come to the theater near you sometime. And finally, I've seen a couple of teaser trailers for this upcoming movie. Paranormal Activity 4. Fourth one. And yeah, it don't look bad. I mean, it's a teaser. Didn't really show a whole lot, but you know, it's what you expect from Paranormal Activity. I still haven't seen part 2. I've seen 1 and 3. Thought they were both great. I jumped around. I watched 3 first, then 1. I thought they were both really good. I was assuming I like 2. I mean, I couldn't imagine me being like, well, 2 sucked. 1 and 3 was great. You know. But anyways, yes. Looking forward to it. I think it'll be, you know, I think it'll be pretty good. It just occurred to me that in counting this year, you know, this year and in the past 3 years, there's been a Paranormal Activity released every year. Shades of Saw. I guess when Saw like threw the towel and they were done, they're like, well, shit, we need another franchise. And they don't jump on the Paranormal Activity bandwagon. And it's, you know, smart idea. I mean, it's cheap to make, and they do make some money, so boom. And as of right now, I mean, the story's still going strong. Now this is the, I'm gonna throw, okay, I don't normally do spoiler alert, but this is the plot of part 4. So if you just somehow have not seen part 3, just skip ahead like 10 seconds. In this one, I guess they're gonna delve more into the devil worshipping witches that you find out that are in part 3. They're gonna go into that whole storyline. So boom, that's part 4 right there. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. So boom. All right, so coming up this weekend, we got another ghostly movie thing coming out. The Apparition. Yeah, it's coming to theater to you this weekend. Can't get excited for this. I'm sorry. I think I went on this rant for the past couple weeks now. You guys know my feelings about this. You know, the storyline is basically like this young couple. They're married. I don't know if they have kids or not. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, they're being haunted, and they realize it's probably linked to some kind of, they did like this experiment thing in college. And not the cool experiment where it's like, we're going to try 2 girls. No, not that kind of experiment, but just like an experiment, I don't know, like some kind of psychological, paranormal experiment, and now the ghosts are following them around. Like the auntie. Not like the auntie, I guess, because the auntie, she was haunted first, then she went to college. Anyway, it don't fucking matter. Apparition, I don't think will be that good, but that's just my opinion. I don't know, check it out. See what you think. Now, I did see a new release. I actually watched it. I want to say it's pretty close to whenever I filmed the last show. I may have actually watched it before the last show and just didn't put it on the show. Anyways, I rented the new Silent House with Elizabeth Olsen. Now, a few weeks ago, I rented the original Silent House, the Spanish version, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Now, just doing a little mini review in there for the original one. I thought it was pretty good story, good little twist and everything. You know, by now you actually know it's the movie that is just all done in one take. That got kind of old on the first one, I thought, or the original. I don't know. I want to see the original first before I see the new one, because I feel like you got to see the original first, is how I feel. And to me, it just seemed like it was just too gimmicky. It just wasn't pulled off right. And I think they cheated a couple times. I'm pretty sure every time they went like into a dark room where it's just completely black, I'm pretty sure they fucking cheated. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. I don't want to call them liars or anything like that, but I'm just saying, to me, as I'm watching, it's like, wow, camera cut right there. But so, watch the new one. And you know what? I really dug it. Like, oh my god, there wasn't really been a whole lot of horror movies out this year that I've really, you know, sucking off or anything. However, I mean, I gotta say, as far as like straight up horror movie goes, it's probably the best horror movie I've seen this year. I think it was better than Woman in Black, and you know, Woman in Black, and oh, that other one, Woman in Black, yeah. I'm joking. There's been other horror movies out there, but I'm saying right now, as of right now, because I know we got a big slew of them coming up. As of right now, I gotta say Silent House is probably #1. I thought Elizabeth Olsen did an incredible job. Like, I've just been swinging on her nuts. And I've never even seen her movies. Like, literally, I just know what the critics are saying, and I see the role she's doing. I'm just like, already, I'm a fan. Like, she's already a notch above her fucking sisters, who I didn't think could act that much, you know, that great. I thought they were just, you know, fuck, if I need a TV pilot, you know, I'll fucking throw them in there, but keep them watching the fucking silver screen. That's all I'm saying. Yes, so, you know, she's doing some, you know, good stuff. So, it's the first movie I saw her in, you know what? It lives up to the hype. I thought she did really well in it. Won't say anything, I won't give anything away. There is, like, overall structure to part 1, or no, sorry, the original, it's pretty much the same. But they changed a few things around. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, if you've seen the original, I recommend seeing this one because they do change some stuff up. The camera work is done a lot better. It didn't feel, it's more choreographed, I guess, more than anything. Like, in the first one, it just felt more like it's just a shitty documentary, and I don't know. There were a couple scenes that kind of built a little suspense, so overall, And this one, I don't know, it's more fluid. It seems more natural, and you don't really kind of realize. I mean, I guess if you're paying attention, I mean, you know it's all one take, but it feels like more like, I don't know. It feels more natural. That's what I'm gonna go with. Directed by the two people who directed Open Water, which I haven't seen that yet. Which I need to. That's another one that's on my list of stuff to see, but I just haven't had a chance to see it yet. So yeah, Silent House, definitely recommend it. So boom, check it out. So let's get to some viewer comments now. I'm not gonna lie, I got a couple of slams this week. So you know, once again, I'm not one to hide from my slams. I'll present them up there. I'll break them up. I'll make it a slam sandwich. You know, so I'll put the slam bread and then comment in the middle. So first we had Clowns. That's his name, Clowns. And he was, in all fairness though, he was actually very polite. He's like, this is not a slam in any way. This is my opinion. You know, so start out right now. There's no hatred here, nothing like that. But his comment was, he was gonna watch my video last week. I don't even remember what the hell my video was last week. Superior and Audition. And he was just like, you know, I was gonna watch it. And I saw it was like 30-something minutes long, and your videos are just too long. And he goes, I guess he looked back and he saw that my other videos were pretty long, and he's like, yeah, this is something I can't sit there and watch a video for that long. And you know what? I've known this for a while now, and the main thing I realize it that whenever I do a short video, like a lot of times I do these video responses for other people, their contests or their questions or whatever. I'll throw a video response out there, and that gets hit up pretty quickly. Like everybody's just checking it out. And then when I do my regular show, my reviews, I notice that the numbers are just a little bit lower. Now, I know right off the bat that's exactly what it is. It's clearly just these shows. I mean, the show averages probably about 30 to 40 minutes. However, I'll be honest with you, like I do not do the show for the views. Like I know that seems kind of cliche. Like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, come on now, Phantom. Why else would you be doing it?" I'm just doing it because I don't know. I guess because I always wanted to have my own real TV show. And things like ratings just don't matter to me. Like I just like to run my mouth in front of a camera. That's bottom line. And so yeah, I mean, even if I was getting 0 views, no viewer comments, you know what the show would be like? When I get to this segment where I'm like viewer comments, I'd literally just be like, all right, time for some viewer comments, and we got none. But you know what? Send me. I mean, it'd be like that every single week. I mean, I'd probably throw some jokes in there that are just really bad anyways, and be like, well, or I'd break my own viewer comments like, this is from the movie Phantom, and he said, But yes, I mean, videos are long, but truthfully, this is just the way I like to do it. I don't want to chunk it up or speed it up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little overweight, so me and speed just ain't gonna cut it. And the main thing is, I don't know. Now I'm not comparing myself in any way other than this little analogy to Doug Stanhope, the greatest fucking comedian alive today. He always kind of says that he's like the specialty comedian because he is not mainstream at all. He jokes about shit you should not joke about. Now I know you're like, whoever's watching right now is just like, oh, there's a million comedians like that. I'm like, okay, whatever, I get that, but I'm comparing myself to this guy right here and what he said. And I'm like that. I can come out here and do these quick, 5-minute videos and wave my hands around and have graphics pop up and everything. It's not my show though. I like doing this, but this is it right here, and I am very grateful for the 7 to 8 people who actually do watch my stuff. I do appreciate it. I got a small cult following, but I would much rather be a Don Coscarelli than a Michael Bay. So that's just me personally. But Clowns, thank you once again. You're really cool about it. Like I said, he was not like shitty about it. He was actually just laying down. He's just like, hey. And the thing is, this video's too long, and he won't even hear me say this. So yeah, boom, there it is. So boom, thank you, Clowns, for that. Up next, we had Robin Hanners. She dropped a few weeks. See, while on my Facebook page, she's one of the Phantom friends. I just basically, like all the movies I review, once a day I just kind of drop a little trivia fact on there, just a little, blah blah blah. And anyways, I forget what the trivia thing was about. The Crazies. That's the movie in question. But I dropped something about the Crazies, and then she wrote back that she has a friend who is like in military intelligence. I probably shouldn't have said Robin Hanner's name out loud, because now if someone watches this video and finds she's leaking this shit, fucking dead. Anyways, yes, but she said like if a situation like that ever broke out, that the military response in the Crazies is pretty accurate. Like they said that's pretty much what would happen. Now I kind of figured that. But that's kind of odd she told me that. She's just like, You know, so you know, shit goes crazy. Don't trust the government because they will fuck you up. So they'll drop that bomb just to annihilate you. So that shit happens. I'm not gonna lie. I'm staying in the lair. I'm underground. I'm here in the cemetery. No one's gonna fuck with me here. I feel safer with the zombies and the dead skeletons around me than, you know, the government protecting us. So. And lastly, we got this guy named okay, let me get this real quick. A Legend of an Ass Clown. All one word. Okay. Dude, okay, I'm checking my stuff, checking my mail and everything, and I get this comment on my channel. He actually dropped me a few comments, and just hating on every one of them. And like one of them was like, you know, you get your first dislike now. And that was it. And he did, like, I forget what the video was, one of my Phantasm videos, I think, but he clicked a dislike, which is kind of odd, because I only had like one like on there anyway, so it was like a like-dislike, so 50% of people liked that video. But, you know, he hit that, and of course it wasn't my first dislike. I had one a while back on my 1408 and Carrie review, or Saul, or I know for a fact 1408 was one of the videos, I can't remember what the other one was, but anyway, so, but the one that really stuck out was, in one of them he calls me a emo cunt. I gotta tell you right now, I have never been called emo or a cunt ever. And I'm intrigued. I'm like, my God, like I mean, I drop cunt every now and then. Now I think that's one of those strong words that I try to hold back, because I believe like fuck everybody uses all the time, and it's lost its impact. Cunt's getting there because now like the American culture, there's like, oh shit, we can say cunt now. It's kind of shocking. It's the new fuck. So I try to reserve it. Now I'm not gonna lie. I think I've even dropped on this show a couple times. I try to hold cunt back. But I've never been called a cunt before, and I'm like, oh my God, you know. So I click on this guy's link, and it's like a kid. Like it's like a little Australian fucking kid. Blonde hair, this little baby boy. Calling me a cunt. And so I click on the video, and I see his link on there, or he had like a featured video, and I click on it. And he's like crying to his girlfriend Beth. Don't go, kind of thing. And I'm like, wow, like this guy's calling me an emo cunt? And so, now I'm not gonna lie, like usually if anybody comments on my stuff and I check their videos out, you know, cause everybody who comments, I mean, if I don't know them, I'll check out their, you know, thing. And if their stuff's pretty good, I'll usually subscribe. And I see this guy, and he called me an emo cunt, so I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, got a smile on my face, I'm gonna click subscribe to this guy. Well, when I clicked subscribe, like 3 other channels came up. All from this guy, but he has like 4 channels altogether. And they're all, I can't remember what the other names were, but I'm clicking on each of them, checking them videos out. There's like one where the dude's shaving his chest. Just shaving his chest. And I'm like, man, I'm the emo cunt. So, yes. A Legend of an Ass Clown. I don't know, I'm not sure if he's even watching my other videos. I mean, he commented on 2 videos and in my channel. And I don't remember which one he called me the emo cunt on, but, buddy, you know what? I'm going to support you, because I'm afraid, like, if I don't support you, you're going to eventually just go like, no one understands me, Beth, don't go, and then die. And I would feel horrible having that on my conscience. So, The Legend of an Ass Clown, buddy, I'm here for you. Just so you know, this emo cunt is here for you. So, yes, there it is. So, yes, viewer comments, feel free. You can leave hate mail, suggestions of what you want me to review. Shit, anything, comments, questions, whatever you want to leave, you can leave it. Video responses, I've had a couple people recently send me private video responses. Cool with that. Of course, you can leave that comment right down below. Phantom Friends, hit me up over there on Facebook, and of course, moviefam7@gmail.com. So, while you say we get some reviews right now. Now, first we're going to travel back to 1974. A little film I like to call Black Christmas. Okay, to be honest with you, I have never even heard of this movie for the longest time. And that's sad, because this is actually a fucking masterpiece of a film. It really is. But, basic premise is, it's Christmas night. Christmas Eve, Christmas night, it don't matter. It's Christmas Eve. And, anyways, yeah, there's a killer hiding in the house, picking off sorority sisters. Now, that sounds like a most generic fucking thing that's been copied a million times. And you're right, because it has, in fact, been copied a million times. This movie is the slasher film, because once again, it's 1974, that a lot of movies literally picked up on. Like, and I'm gonna go ahead and say rip off. Now I mean like in a bad way, because I'm not gonna lie, if I was a filmmaker, dude, I'd be ripping off everybody. Like it'd be ridiculous. Like I'd probably even have a little asterisk on how to rip something off on the movie screen, and then at the bottom it'd be like, this is from, you know, Reservoir Dogs or whatever, and then I'd be like, you know, something else, and like, hey, this is, you know, from Nosferatu. I don't know, I'd be fucking ripping shit off all the time. I'd be ridiculous. So anyways, but yes, you know, and this came out before Halloween, Friday the 13th, When a Stranger Calls, which I'll get to that here in a little bit, yes. Okay, what I love about this movie is the same reason I love Halloween, and really the same reason I like Friday the 13th. It's basic. There's no crazy, overcomplicated plot. What I just told you, that's the fucking movie, basically. I mean, serial killer shows up and just starts picking them off. Not a huge body count, and really not a lot of gore. Now, it's more of what you don't see. And that's one thing, too, because, like, I just realized it. I was IMDb'ing it after I watched it, and I'm looking at these, like, the trivia facts and stuff. They're like, you know, it's, you know, despite what people think, it's very low on gore. I'm like, oh my god, you're right. Like, there isn't a whole lot of gore in this thing. It's what you know, once again, it's the Halloween. You look at the knife as it's coming down, stabbing. You know, it's just the thought. You know, it's psycho. You know, it's just that kind of the implication of, you know, violence as opposed to actually showing it. Man, I could go on and on. Directing by Bob Clark, my boy Bob Clark. Sadly, no longer with us, and that does suck fucking balls. Now, normally, whenever I say Bob Clark and my group of friends, they just want to automatically throw in, like, baby geniuses, too. I'm like, really? You're going to sit there and just piss all over this dude's career because of that shitty movie? I'm like, he was old at the time, dude. He's probably going senile and just said, fuck it, baby genius, too. Who knows? Maybe he just thought it'd be a funny idea. Maybe he made it for himself. I don't care. I'm not judging the guy on Baby Genius 2. Because this guy is the same dude who gave me 2 of my favorite Christmas movies of all time, and the greatest sex comedy, brilliantly, the best teen sex comedy of all time in general, anyways. This motherfucker gave us Black Christmas and A Christmas Story, and then gave us, I don't know what the chronological order is there, but fuck it. And then he gave us Porky's. So fuck you and your Baby Geniuses too. How about that? Yes, dude, I mean, it's just brilliant. The POV shot on this is incredible. Cause, I mean, that's the thing is, it's a slasher movie that you never fully see the killer. There's a few, you know, shots here and there, hands, you know, you hear him breathing and all that shit. And at one point, there is like a quick little scene where you see his eye looking through the crack in the door. Other than that, you don't really see it. And I think that's brilliant. I'm like, fuck that, that's just awesome right there. The acting is top notch, dude. Margot Kidder, I've never been a big Margot Kidder fan. Margot Kidder in this thing, dude, she's the best character, period, dude. She just plays like this drunken, chain-smoking, foul-mouthed sorority sister. I love it. They're great. Olivia Hussey, another one. She's like the main girl in here. Jessie, who is, she's having an abortion. And, of course, her boyfriend, who we suspect is the killer, you know, off and on, which you kind of know he's not, because even, like, they try to hint to it. It's like, you know the killer's been inside this house this whole time. Like, the killer ain't just coming and going as he pleases. He's hanging out in the fucking house. So they try to, like, you know, it's the boyfriend. And, like, I'm watching, I'm like, no, it's not the boyfriend. It's definitely, there's a killer, no-name killer. But anyways, you know, he wants her to keep the baby. And she's like, I want the abortion. And I love that, dude, because there's a scene where, this is one of them we'll kind of jump all over the place with. Like, when she tells him early on, like, he has this big audition coming up, and he's going to be doing this recital, private recital for these people, and she's just like, I need to tell you something, I'm pregnant. And he's happy, he's like, yes, she's like, I'm going to have an abortion. And I'm like, and he gets pissed, and she's like, you know, calm down. I'm like, why did you fucking tell him? Like, why did you, if you're going to have the abortion anyways, like, you're already like, I'm going to flush it out. I'm like, why tell him? You just ruined this fucker's day. You ruined this fucker's night. You could have kept your fucking mouth shut, had the abortion, he would have never known, and you guys would have got a fight, and then it wouldn't lead to his untimely death. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you're a whore. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not the actual actress. I love Olivia Hussey, but I'm just saying, you know, character-wise, yeah, I was hoping she got killed. I hated that fucking Margot Kidder. I can't remember her character name. Oh, Barb. I can't believe Barb, you know, I was sad to see her get killed. But fucking Jessie makes it. Hope she has that wart removed. Anyway, so, yes. And then John Saxon. The fucking man. John Saxon in this movie. And it has, and it's one of the greatest scenes ever. Shades of Porky. There's a scene early on where they give the police, because they're getting obscene phone calls from from the killer, and the calls are coming from inside the house. I'll get to that here in a second. Anyway, so the killer's getting obscene phone calls, so they're going to the office. Now there's a girl already missing, Claire, and that's why they're at the police station, getting this information. But then they're talking about the obscene phone calls, so they give them the number. So then she gives them the phone exchange FE, but she says it's fellatio. And this sergeant is just, he's a jack. He's like and he was actually the coach or one of the coaches, like assistant coach in Porky's. So I just love seeing this guy anyways. But he's like the dumb cop in this one, so he's just kind of like, fellatio, he writes it down. There's a scene later on, it kind of comes out of nowhere, because you kind of forget about that little scene. It's just a little tiny, piece of, black humor. They throw it aside. Horror movie ensues, and then it comes back to where John Saxon, he's got, they're having a night, a young teenage girl's missing. That Claire is still missing from the sorority house, Shit's not going right. And he sits down reading his paper, and hold on, there's a guy in the background. He's like another cop, and he is just laughing. And of course, he'll say the thing, he reads the number, and it says, fellatio, and it has the phone number. And of course, the dude's losing it, and you cannot help it but fucking laugh in this scene. I mean, like I said, it reminds me of the scene in Porky's, where Miss Ballbreaker is like trying to talk the principal into like having a lineup with all the, dudes with their dicks hanging out, so she can identify, Tommy, and, basically bring his junk to justice. And how the guys are in the background just losing it. It's just like that, dude. And I'm literally, once again, I know it's Bob Clark, so I'm watching this, and now I'm thinking of Porky, and I'm watching this scene, I am just losing it. And of course they bring, Sergeant Nash in, and the whole time he's just like, fellatio, she gave it to me. And the guys back there just laughing, they're like, oh, she gave you fellatio. He's just like, yeah, dude. I mean, it's cheesy junior high humor, I get it. I don't give a fuck, it's funny, and I'm just losing it. So, classic stuff here. Yes, John Saxon just dominating her. Dude, that guy is drunk. I've seen him in, like, excellent mainstream film. I've seen him in this low budget, no budget, shit movies, and he's always good. He's a consummate professional. Brilliant, and I think he's underrated. I'll tell you now, everybody like, the horror movies is like, oh, he's great. I just think overall, though, extremely underrated. I don't think he gets the props for his acting ability. That's just all there is to it. So yes, and then of course the infamous, the killer's in the house. He's calling from inside the house. That one missed call. When a stranger calls, completely ripped off. I mean, just completely ripped off that whole thing. Yes, it was done here first, folks. It was done here first. And there's a second phone line upstairs. And, of course, the killer is using that to call these girls. And they keep trying, the whole movie they're trying to, trace this phone. And I keep forgetting, like, it's 1970s. So it's a whole process just to trace. Like, the dudes literally run through this warehouse just trying to follow the line. Where's it going? And, of course, I thought it was kind of weird, though. Like, if the call's coming from this point, from here, or they're answering it here, but it's really just coming from upstairs. You would think, like, at the station or wherever the hell they're at, like, this thing would be going off and then be like right over here, and you're like, oh, it's coming from inside the house. But this dude's like running all over the place, like, where's it? And he finally gets like, oh my god, it's coming from the same house, But yes, I'm sure if I would have seen this before one missed call, or god damn it, when a stranger calls, I probably would have been just completely. But the other thing I love about this one is they never answer shit. And I mean that literally. They don't answer nothing. You never know exactly who the killer is. Now, everybody just starts calling him Billy, because when the guy calls, he's just like, Billy, don't tell Agnes. He mentions Billy, Agnes, and Mom like all the time. That's all he mentions. But you don't know why or who these people are. I mean, you can only just put it together in your head. And it's usually sicker up here than what you can be shown. And, of course, at the end, they kill everybody. Of course, the boyfriend's dead now. I forget his name. And they're rushing, they're rushing somebody to the hospital. Oh, it's Claire's father. So, just during the confusion, that's one thing. A lot of people want to tear up, like, well, why did they leave Jess alone in the house at the end? I'm like, you know what, can we just chalk it up to, it's just been a bad fucking day in a small town nonetheless. Like, no, what, like, this is like LA. No, it's like a tiny fucking town, people. A town called Bedford. And guess what? That's where the Phantom's from. Not that town, but, a town called Bedford. But, yeah, I like that. That's just a little plus for me. I'm watching like, hey, Bedford, hey. But anyways, so yeah, I'm chalking up to they just had a bad fucking day. And they're going to stay with Jess. And then when fucking old dude faints, or when we get to the hospital, it just got long. I mean, you're thinking like, well, hey, Jimbo will take care of it. And Jimbo's thinking, oh, well, Frank will take care of it. And they all just leave. All right, so here's your fucking plot. You're the giant plot hole there. You fuck yourself. That's, you know, they leave her there. And of course, that's when, you know, the killer, you hear the phone ringing again, you know the killer's still in the fucking house. And they just fucking end it there. And that's the best fucking scene, too. It's literally, and this has been, you know, in multiple documentaries and everything else. The camera shows that Claire still in the attic with the house mother. But Claire's in the rocking chair with the plastic wrapped around her, you know, head. Boom. And in the rocking chair, not discovered, and as the camera pulls out, you know, it's fucking snowing outside. Police are gone. There's like one cop left on the front porch. Jess is inside, phone's ringing, and you're like, holy shit, roll credits. And that's all it is. The credits are rolling, it's still snowing, phone's still ringing. I'm like, that is the best fucking ending, period. 1 second. Oh, thank you. And I'm like, that's brilliant. And that's all I've been reading. Everybody just like, well, they don't explain nothing. But you know what I hate is like whenever they don't explain shit, people bitch about it. But then when they do a movie where they explain everything, they're like, you have nothing to the imagination. It's what you don't know. I'm like, fuck you guys. Literally, every one of you critics can suck these fucking balls. I was going to say suck these dicks, and then I was like, that means I have 2 dicks. And I was like, messed up there. But anyways, yes. Black Christmas is just brilliant. Like I said, they don't ever explain, like, did this killer, you know, kill that young 13-year-old girl? Was this killer the one making all the obscene phone calls before this? You know, was this killer the one who raped that girl, that townie, if you expect? You don't know. And that's what makes this brilliant. People want to speculate, like, was it the other boyfriends, you know, of these, you know, girls? You don't know. And that is why the remake sucked balls. Because they try to cap an answer to everything. They're just like, well, fuck, we'll just answer this, answer that. No. They actually showed an Agnes. Are you fucking kidding me? You want to know why your movie will be forgotten in 10 to 15, 20 years, and this one will live on forever as a fucking horror classic? It's because it was masterfully done, and they didn't just pander down the stupid fucking people. They went ahead and just said, you know what? Fuck it, we're going to make this movie the way we want to make it. I guess they even tried to get him to change the ending. They're like, well, you just, no. He's like, fuck it. This is my movie, ambiguous ending, and guess what? Boom, paid off. Mr. Clark, if you can hear me on the other side, up there, whatever, you did great, buddy, right there. That's all you need to know is you're fucking great. They even, like, watered it down. It's like, they don't ever water down violence anymore. Like, they're like, fucking violence, start out there. They just pools of blood, just fucking buckets of blood. But then, like, the abortion thing was completely dropped completely from the remake. I'm like, really? Like, you could have stood in there for a little bit. Like, if I was going to remake it, they're like, you know, Phantom, remake this movie, and I'm writing a script, and I'm like, listen, don't linger on the abortion thing, all right? Please, it's a touchy subject. Just please, stay away from abortion. Like, all right. And I would write it where Jess is like, you know, honey, I'm pregnant. And the boyfriend's like, oh, that's wonderful. And she's like, I'm going to have an abortion. And he's like, thank God. All right, cool. Yeah, go ahead and get flushed out now. And then he just goes on, and then the killer does his normal thing. That's it. I want it done like that. I mention it. No, because Hollywood's fucking pussies, and they're like, oh, man, yeah, an abortion, that will offend people. And ambiguous endings offend people, and we'll just get, you know, pretty people in there and just throw blood on them, and then, yeah. Don't waste your time. Like, no mom is like, you know, you should see a movie and form your own opinion. No, don't fucking watch the new Black Christmas. It's an abortion. That is a fucking abortion right there. Watch this. Fucking classic. Brilliant. Up next, we got Session 9. What the fuck is Session 9, you may be asking? I told people what I'm reviewing this week, and they're like, what the fuck's that? And I'm like, I thought it had more of an underground following than that. Like, I thought people did know, but... Okay, Brad Anderson, the director of The Machinist, which, that's the movie where Christian Bale became a skeleton with meat on it. This is the movie he did before that. The basic premise is you got this group going into this old insane asylum, and they're just cleaning it up, getting all the asbestos out, and that's basically what they're doing. They're just basically making it safe to go into. And, of course, I don't know. Things ain't quite what it seems. I saw this movie when it first came out. I was in high school at the time. 2001, I believe. So, yeah, I was probably a sophomore, maybe a junior. And anyways, at the time I was staying with my cousin, and they always, like, at that thing, they've always written horror movies, like, no matter what. But that's the problem with a lot of people. Like, they literally... And a lot of people, like I know today, do this. Like, they don't really go for, like, the good stuff. They just grab, like, any straight-to-video shit. Like, this shit you can tell shit on the front cover. But they're lured in by like, oh wait a second, look at this. And, you know, the quote says it's crazy, you know, or the tagline's like the scariest movie ever. It must be, you know. And then they just grabbed anything. So I, you know, in that year and a half that I was, you know, living with them, I saw so much shit. It was ridiculous. The Session 9 was on the first one. Now for some reason, I don't know why, I thought this was a ghost movie. I just assumed. I can't remember if maybe it was just like I read the back cover and it was like it led you to think it was a ghost story, or why. But I thought from the beginning I was like, it's a ghost movie. It's not at all. Yeah, 2001. I'll drop spoilers. Fuck you. So, anyways, we're watching this thing, and I just remember when I watched it the first time, when it ended, I was like, it's all right. I guess what I think I was like, it's all right. I'll probably never watch it again because it has a little twist at the end. I was like, okay, that's it. I'll never see it again. And then before I knew it, I started doing this show. And I was like, you know what? I need to throw shit out there that I ain't hearing a whole lot about. Like, I'll hit you guys with a classic, and then throw something in there that maybe I just hadn't heard about in a long time. And when I found out that Brad Anderson was the one directing, I was like, oh my God, like, why aren't people talking about this movie? But anyway, so I watched it again, and now I can give you guys a better review. So what it is, and the thing is, like, when I was younger, the twist came out of nowhere. Like, whenever the twist happened, I'm like, holy shit. This is crazy. Like, blood coming out of my ear, my mind's blown. I'm like, oh my God, this is nuts. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, my God, how did I not see that? Like, literally, I wonder if I watched it today for the first time ever, if I wouldn't just pick it up the first 10 minutes. Because it literally is, like, it's right there. But basically, these guys are cleaning it up, and it's like a 3-week job, probably more, to get this thing cleaned up. They got a small crew. But the guy needs the money, like the main guy, the boss. So he promises his boss, or the guy who's, you know, who owns the place, that we'll do it within a week. So they're busting ass to get this thing clean. This guy is having problems at home, and you can already tell he probably already killed his wife and his baby. And you'd be right, because that's what it is. But you don't know until the end. Turns out the whole time this motherfucker is the killer. People start disappearing, one guy disappears, and then the whole movie, you're trying to figure out what's going on. Everybody's kind of turning on each other. Paranoia is running out there. And yeah, it turns out that the dude was the killer the whole time, and he takes everybody down with him. And the thing is, like, in his mind, he's not the killer. He's just like, I don't know what the hell's going on. This is crazy. And then he kind of comes to terms with it, but he's still, you know. Now, this is another one, they don't really explain everything. Now, you're kind of led to believe that, you know, okay, what happened was this mental institution was going strong until the 80s. There was a scandal there, and like this one woman, they made her believe that her parents raped her and had these crazy, like, black mass orgies and forced her to participate when she was a young girl. And when it came out that, you know, it was all a lie, she was actually still a virgin and she made it up, that was also coupled with the bad economy. They closed a lot of places down, including this one, and they just kind of basically, they transferred some patients, but most of them just like turned to the street. And I thought that was kind of crazy. I'm like, really? You would do that? But anyways, of course, anybody who's watched Frisky Dingo knows that. Huh? Frisky Dingo reference? Anybody? No, nothing? Okay. So anyways, yeah, they're out the street. So I just kind of gathered, like, this guy was probably a patient there before. They kind of dropped that hint early on where it's like, why would anybody ever come back here? And they just look at him, like, or the camera points at this dude. You know, I'm like, yeah, he probably was a patient there. But they don't come out and say it, so. Anyways, movie also stars David Caruso. Remember when he thought he was an actor? Yeah, they're in that phase. And anyways, you know, I got no reason to hate David Caruso. Like, I've honestly never even seen a movie of his, except for Session 9. But I don't think he's that great. Like, he just kind of overacts a lot. Like, he wants to, like, move and everything and twitch and just fucking, I don't know. I just thought and then there's a lot of deliveries. Like, there's this one delivery where, like, the guy who you know is the killer, but no one really knows he's the killer yet. They're just not trusting each other. He's just like, hey, you come with me. He just looks at him, and this is also bad drink because the camera pushes in real quick on his face. He's just like, fuck you. Dude, it's like the worst delivery, though. He's just like, fuck you. And then, I don't know. It looked bad. But anyways, really, that's really the only cons. Because in all honesty, though, aside from, like, some bad acting, because they are a bunch of no-names. Like, I didn't recognize hardly anybody in this movie. You know what? The atmosphere is definitely there. And if you guys have seen The Machinist, you know that Brad knows how. He does come over, he keeps bringing up The Machinist, but right now I'm just going blank on his other movies. But he definitely builds this atmosphere, this tension. And it is kind of throughout the film. And even when I'm watching the second time, knowing, alright, this motherfucker's a killer, it's still there. And you're like, you know what? Okay, I'll give him props for this. I think anybody who watches for the first time may be surprised. don't go into expecting anything crazy. There's not a whole lot of action movie at all. It's really, I use the phrase slow burner a lot, and this is definitely the best, you know, this is a slow burner. Motherfucker, straight up, it's a slow burner. So, I recommend it. I think, you know, check it out. You may be surprised. Just don't think it's a ghost story. But yeah, that's pretty much my reviews right there. So, yeah, I didn't have a lot to say about it. I can't blow it off like I did this one. However, it's a good movie. I'll recommend it. So, yes, you know what? Phantom's out. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this fucking nice day. So, you know what? I'll catch you guys next week.
Later.